Today, we explore a food many consume thinking it is completely healthy without understanding what truly happens inside their bodies with every single bite. We are talking about traditional sourdough bread. Many eat it daily, believing it is the ultimate health option. Others avoid it completely out of fear of gluten. But what is the real biological truth behind this ancient fermented food? By the end of this video, you will have a clear, science backed answer on how your gut reacts to sourdough and whether you should keep it as a regular part of your daily nutrition plan. To understand its health impact, we must first look at what makes sourdough entirely different from conventional bread. It all comes down to the absence of modern commercial baker's yeast. Sourdough relies on a living starter, an active, thriving colony of beneficial wild bacteria and yeasts, cultivated over weeks, months, or sometimes even decades of continuous feeding. Ancient civilizations understood this long before modern laboratory science existed. Egyptians, Greeks, Romans, and communities across the Middle East baked exclusively with wild fermentation. They did not do this because of a modern trend. They did it because they observed that this fermented bread digested much easier, lasted longer without molding, and felt far better in the stomach. During this slow, deliberate fermentation process, the active bacteria produce compounds known as postbiotics. These are the metabolic byproducts of bacterial digestion of the flour. The most prominent postbiotic generated is lactic acid. This key organic acid gives sourdough its famous tangy flavor profile and lowers the pH of the dough significantly during fermentation. In addition to lactic acid, the wild fermentation process produces acetic acid, the very same beneficial compound found in raw apple cider vinegar, known for its metabolic health benefits. The bacteria also synthesize a variety of highly bioavailable B vitamins. These essential nutrients are produced naturally as the microbes metabolize the simple carbohydrates in the wheat. These B vitamins are crucial for your nervous system, energy production, and skin health. In sourdough, they exist in a highly absorbable form, unlike synthetic vitamins added to industrial bread. Now let us tackle the most common question. Does sourdough bread contain gluten? The answer requires a detailed look at the parts per million concentration of gluten in different loaves. Conventional wheat bread contains an immense amount of gluten, typically ranging from 100,000 to 200,000 parts per million in every single standard serving. But during the prolonged fermentation of genuine sourdough, the wild bacteria actively break down these complex gluten proteins, digesting them before the bread ever reaches your mouth. This intense microbial pre-digestion reduces the residual gluten content in authentic sourdough down to approximately 200 parts per million, a massive reduction of over 99%. However, 200 parts per million is still not zero. According to the FDA, a food must contain less than 20 parts per million of gluten to be safely labeled as gluten-free. Therefore, traditional wheat sourdough is absolutely not safe for individuals diagnosed with celiac disease or those who suffer from severe non-celiac gluten sensitivity. For these individuals, sourdough, made from naturally gluten-free grains like brown rice, buckwheat, or sorghum, is a much safer alternative that still offers the benefits of fermentation. But be cautious, as many people with gluten issues also experience cross-reactivity to other grains like corn or rice. It is vital to observe how your unique body responds to each grain. Why does gluten matter so much, even if you are not celiac? To understand this, we must look at a specific protein produced in your gut called zonulin, triggered by gluten exposure. When gluten enters the digestive tract, it stimulates the release of zonulin. Zonulin acts directly on the tight junctions that seal the individual cells of your intestinal lining together. As zonulin levels rise, these tight junctions begin to loosen and pull apart. The protective barrier of your gut becomes temporarily compromised, leading to increased permeability. When this happens, partially digested food particles, bacterial waste products, and toxins leak directly into your bloodstream, where they absolutely do not belong. Your immune system immediately detects these foreign invaders in the blood and launches a localized inflammatory response to protect your tissues from damage. When this inflammatory response is triggered repeatedly day after day, it becomes chronic, leading to systemic issues like fatigue, joint pain, skin breakouts, and brain fog. Because sourdough has 99% less gluten, its impact on zonulin release is significantly weaker. This allows the intestinal lining to remain tight, intact, and protected. Beyond gluten reduction, sourdough offers major metabolic advantages. Let us look at how it affects your blood sugar compared to standard processed bread. Conventional bread has a high glycemic index. Its refined starches are rapidly broken down into glucose, causing a sudden, sharp spike in your blood sugar levels. In response to this rapid glucose surge, your pancreas is forced to pump out massive amounts of insulin to clear the sugar from your bloodstream and store it in your cells. Over time, these constant insulin spikes can lead to insulin resistance, metabolic dysfunction, weight gain, and eventually increase the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Sourdough bread, however, has a much lower glycemic index. The organic acids produced during wild fermentation slow down the rate at which your enzymes digest the starch. This means glucose is released into your bloodstream gradually and steadily, preventing the dramatic blood sugar spikes and subsequent crashes associated with industrial bread. The organic acids in sourdough also provide incredible support for your overall digestive process, starting right in the stomach by optimizing your digestive environment. They help stimulate the natural production of stomach acid, promote healthy bile secretion from the gallbladder, and activate essential pancreatic digestive enzymes. This means that not only is the sourdough bread itself easier to digest, but any other foods you consume alongside it are also broken down and absorbed far more efficiently. Additionally, the short chain fatty acids produced during fermentation, particularly butyrate, have been shown to support healthy cholesterol and lipid levels in the blood. These fatty acids help regulate how your liver synthesizes cholesterol and assist in reducing circulating triglycerides, supporting long term cardiovascular wellness. Sourdough also acts as an excellent prebiotic. The fermentable fibers within the bread serve as high quality fuel for the beneficial bacteria residing in your large intestine. A highly diverse and well fed microbiome is directly linked to stronger immune function, better mood regulation, lower systemic inflammation, and superior gut health. I want to ask you a quick question. Do you currently eat sourdough bread? Have you noticed a difference in your digestion compared to regular bread? Let me know in the comments below. Despite all of these remarkable benefits, sourdough is not a cure-all, and there are specific situations where it might not be the best choice for your unique body. If you are currently dealing with an active autoimmune disease, your immune system is already in a state of hyperreactivity, attacking your body's own healthy tissues. In this delicate state, even the tiny amount of residual gluten in sourdough can be enough to trigger zonulin, increase gut permeability, and fuel the inflammatory cycle. The same caution applies if you suffer from severe chronic joint pain, stubborn skin conditions, or persistent fatigue that does not seem to improve with rest. In these cases, the best approach is to temporarily eliminate all grains from your diet entirely, including sourdough, to allow your intestinal lining a chance to fully heal. We must remember that sourdough, despite its health benefits, is still primarily a source of carbohydrates and starch. It does not contain significant protein or healthy fats. If your primary goal is rapid weight loss or reversing severe insulin resistance, consuming large amounts of starch, even fermented sourdough, can slow down your progress. If you are healthy and want to enjoy sourdough, you must know how to choose the real thing. The modern food market is flooded with fake sourdough products. Many commercial bakeries add industrial vinegar or powdered lactic acid to their dough to mimic the sour taste without actually performing the long fermentation process. These fake sourdoughs completely lack the beneficial postbiotics, the degraded gluten, and the low glycemic index that make authentic sourdough so healthy. To ensure you are buying genuine traditional sourdough, the ingredient list should be incredibly short. Just flour, water, salt, and the natural wild starter. If you see commercial yeast, dough conditioners, preservatives, or added organic acids in the ingredients, it is not an authentic, slow fermented sourdough loaf. True sourdough requires a fermentation time of at least 12 hours, with the highest quality loaves fermenting for 24 to 48 hours. This long duration is absolutely essential. It gives the beneficial bacteria enough time to fully digest the gluten and generate the health-promoting postbiotics. If you have the time and patience, making your own sourdough starter at home is incredibly rewarding and gives you complete control over your ingredients. All you need is whole grain flour, clean water, and a few days of daily feeding to capture the wild yeasts and beneficial bacteria present in your environment. Once you have high quality sourdough, how you consume it matters greatly. The order in which you eat your foods has a major impact on your glucose response. If you eat sourdough bread first on an empty stomach, the starches will digest quickly, resulting in a more rapid rise in your circulating blood sugar levels. But if you start your meal with fiber rich vegetables, healthy fats, or quality protein first, you create a protective matrix in your digestive tract. When the sourdough is eaten after these foods, its starch absorption is significantly delayed, resulting in an exceptionally flat, stable glucose response. Portion size also plays a key role. Eating one or two thin slices of high quality sourdough as a side is very different from making bread the main focus of your meal. Always pair your sourdough with healthy fats. Spreading extra virgin olive oil, grass fed butter, or fresh avocado onto your slice works wonders for digestion. These healthy fats, combined with quality proteins like eggs or wild sardines, slow down stomach emptying and dramatically reduce the overall glycemic load. Most importantly, listen to your body. Pay close attention to how you feel in the hours after consuming a slice of authentic, slow fermented sourdough. Do you feel light, energized, and satisfied? Or do you experience abdominal bloating, fatigue, or brain fog? Your body is constantly giving you valuable feedback. In conclusion, authentic sourdough bread is undoubtedly a vastly superior choice compared to conventional, highly processed industrial white bread. Its reduced gluten content, rich postbiotic profile, lower glycemic impact, and prebiotic fibers make it a highly functional traditional food. But it is not a miracle food, and it cannot fix an otherwise poor diet. It must be integrated into a lifestyle focused on whole, nutrient dense foods. If you are highly active, sleep well, manage your stress, and have a healthy gut, sourdough can be a delicious, nourishing part of your daily nutrition. But if you are struggling with autoimmune issues, severe gluten sensitivity, or chronic inflammation, focus first on healing your gut barrier completely. Once your gut microbiome is balanced and your intestinal lining is strong, you can slowly reintroduce traditional sourdough and observe how your body responds. True health is not about strict rules or deprivation. It is a continuous process of mindful observation, intelligent adjustment, and deep self learning. The very first step on this journey is understanding exactly what you put into your body, why you are eating it, and how it affects your biological systems. If this video brought you clarity on this topic, please share it with a friend, family member, or anyone looking to improve their digestive and metabolic health. Make sure to subscribe to A Scientific Life if you have not already, as we publish deep dive, science backed nutritional guides every single week. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it valuable. Your support helps this honest, non commercial health information reach more people who need it. Don't forget to leave your thoughts, questions, or personal sourdough experiences in the comment section below. I personally read and respond to them. Thank you so much for watching, for investing in your health, and for being an active, curious part of our growing scientific community. Have an absolutely wonderful, healthy day, and we will see you next week in our next deep dive video into the fascinating science of the human body.